Why belly fat won't budge during menopause. You're struggling to lose weight in menopause. We are definitely different human beings. I tell you, us women, when we hit menopause, what used to work when we were younger doesn't work anymore. Trust me, I know, because I've been working in the health and fitness arena for over 30 years, and what I used to do doesn't work now, because I'm going through menopause now. It's very frustrating. It's so frustrating, because we are very designed to think that eat less, exercise more, and that stuff don't work anymore. I tell you what, when you get to menopause, you are a different breed. So you're not alone. And there's definitely a way forward. Now, every person is different, obviously. And I treat people differently when I do coach them. So, and it is really important that you don't have a blanket program for yourself, because the blanket programs they do work to a point, but you'll come up against and you'll be struggling because of these certain things that I'm going to talk about. So the first one is hormonal shifts. What actually happens is your hormones shift, obviously. Estrogen, progesterone. Estrogen drops, slows metabolism down, and then it stores fat in your belly. I know. I when I first heard this, I was like, really? But it does. And your body changes when you go through menopause. You can't excretiate your hormones as well as you used to, and that's why a lot of women have problems with bowels and things like that. But what it does, it actually stores that estrogen in your belly. And the second one is we become more insulin resistant. Insulin resistance becomes more, your body just goes into insulin resistant, and it doesn't actually want to lose weight anymore. It makes you become more Google insulin resistance, but it's harder to lose weight. So women in their 40s, 50s, going through that transition, it's harder for them to lose weight. And then they start beating themselves up, because that's what I did. I started beating myself up because I couldn't work it out in my head anymore, and I was frustrated because I couldn't lose weight around the belly. And I was thinking to myself, why isn't this working anymore? Because what I used to do didn't work. And I was on this roller coaster for a long time. I'm going to tell you this right now. So the most important part is we're not beating ourselves up over it, okay? Because it's not our fault. And so what do you need to do about it? Oh, that's another thing too. Cortisol. Cortisol stores in your belly as well. It's another hormone, all right? So that's why we get more stressed when we're going through menopause. Cortisol raises as well because of the imbalances in the hormones, and that's why we get flustered, and we become different people. We really do. But there are some things that you can do about it. So cortisol gets stored in the belly, right? And then your estrogen gets stored in the belly. And then also estrogen mimickers as well. That's another thing I could talk about, but I'm not going to talk about that because that's in our food, it's in our water, it's the plastics, it's all that sort of stuff that we've consumed over the years. The plastics have gone into our water systems. I could go on forever, but I won't. But it's absolutely fascinating. But so you're having hormonal shifts, which store the fat, and then you've got insulin resistance, which makes it harder as well. And then but what you can do, I'm going to tell you this right now, there are things you can do for sure, and you can get your body back. You've just got to be a little bit of a detective. But what you got to do is you've got to obviously cut back on the refined carbohydrates, cakes, pastas, breads, all that sort of thing. And it's frustrating because you used to be able to eat that stuff, but now it's really hard sometimes. So you've got to kind of pull that out. And another thing is focusing on strength training. With the program we do, we don't actually do too much of that. But as a personal trainer, it's really important to increase that muscle mass, because when we go into menopause, we start to lose muscle mass, and our body we get we get more prone to osteoporosis as well too, because once again, because of all the hormones, because of the hormonal shifts. And, you know, this can go on and on and on. And look, there are other things you can do around, you know, getting hormone replacement, but there are some natural things you can do as well. And it really does depend on every individual person. But really, hormones change the game. They really do. But you can still win. You can still win. I'm going to say, don't give up on yourself, all right? Because it is very hard to do that. And sometimes, you know, you just give up on yourself and think, oh, I'm going to be fat for the rest of my life. No. Anyway, that was a long one today. So thanks for chiming in. Have a great week this week. And we'll see you next week for Wednesday Wellness, guys. Bye.